Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Wednesday night is truck night in the Sim500. In calling tonight's race is Jeff McConaughey and Joe White.
Hi, race fans, welcome. Well, we're here tonight, Michigan, and I'm gonna tell you what, there's gonna be a drama field after this race because this is the last race of the regular season before we start the chase, and it is a tight battle for the top 10. Normally they take 16, but in this series here in the trucks, it's a top 10, and it's tight. Especially for that 10th place down there. I mean, actually between 8th on, like 8th, 9th, and 10th. So kind of keep an eye open on that one. You know, I know EJ O'Rourke's in the mix there. Kevin Brown's in the mix there. So going to be interesting here. But big track of Michigan here tonight.
Nice big track for some really good racing. It's our favorite word. It's a momentum track. So these guys are going to have to be very careful getting around here because one bad lap can lead to 2 or 3 afterwards. If you need to gather that truck back up, a lot of people can get around you.
All right, cool. Are you on your regular mic that you're normally on?
I should be. Let me double check my settings.
That's fine. Well, it's just a little lower than what I'm usually used to seeing. So. Alright, well, while he's doing that, I'll tell you what, we're getting set to go green flag here. Michigan International Speedway, and this place, 2-mile track. It's definitely a super speedway. You're going to get some high speeds. Hang on a second. Yeah. Go ahead.
Well, this is me testing out the microphone. It is set to the correct microphone as far as I'm aware. So,
Well, I'll just turn your level up, so.
that works for me.
Yeah, alright. Well, they're off and about right now, and I tell you what, up front, Tyler Dalton. Now, the one thing that we will see out and about on this style track, and I tell you what, already, Sean Castro is around. But I'm gonna tell you,
Barham as well.
Yeah, that was a huge. If we've ever seen netcode, that was huge. I watched it live happen. Let's go back on the replay here. Watch one more time. Let the viewers see it again. And but Sean was on the outside there of Tyler Dalton. And, you know, they never touched. And obviously we're in the virtual world, folks. You know, anything can happen, cetera. But you're going to see right here, go off into the turn, and then they just, yeah. I mean, it's like invisible wall. And then from there, he's in the middle of the track. Nothing he can do. A little chaos there on the other end. A few little trucks got into him, but that right there, Jeff, that's one of the toughest things about virtual racing is when the net code hits like that. And folks, if you're not familiar with it, obviously there's a detection box on here. I mean, it is a virtual world. It's not like the real thing, and they have to, there's parameters and all that stuff. You can get really technical with it. I'm not going to get too technical in it, but either way, they have to figure out what's the closest they can get for contact to be initiated on trucks or cars or anything. And sometimes that gets a little jumbled, and we see what we just saw right there, where it looks like there's a foot between the two cars, and one goes sailing. But in actuality, it's supposed to be like a registered of contact.
No, I'm here. I'm trying to think of the right way to phrase it here. I guess the best way to put it is netcode is where iRacing is showing you in one place, but it thinks you're in another. And so that's what we saw there. And now they're trying to sort of get everything figured out here. Daniel Falkingham actually just dropped out of the race. Speaking of internet problems, he dropped out. Now he's rejoining, but will he go a lap down? That's the question.
Yeah, who knows on that one. We'll just have to keep our eye on that one. I mean, he's obviously, locked into the chase. You know, no danger on that one. But, EJ and all them, and while I'm thinking about it here, we're under caution. Yeah, look up some of the top 10 right fast. So, got to. I like old Michigan track. I mean, good track out here too.
It's a big one, 2 miles and a lot of room to work with. You can run any lane and be fast.
Absolutely. Okay. We've got, all right, as of right now, Tommy Ryan is the man sitting down there 3 points ahead of Kevin Brown. And, we've seen Tommy, have some good runs, have some bad ones. EJ right now would be, I think it's showing 8 points, but it might be plus the 3 on it there. So that would put him at 11 ahead. So really it's tight. Now, Nick Silver sitting there in the 8th place spot. He's pretty much, I'm going to say, safe. He's about 20-some points, about 27, 20 ahead. So, you know, I don't know mathematically would be there. The real battle's going to be there, 8th and 9th. Kevin and Johnston. Now, we did not know 100% here if this is yeah, that's when it always goes on, man. We don't know if this includes the drop weeks or anything like that. So we won't know official, but we can only give you what we know as far as like points as right now as we're back green flag, and Tyler Dalton and Kevin Brown right now is doing what he needs to do to secure his spot though.
You're right. He's fighting for the lead as he now dives to the inside of Tyler Dalton. This track is a great mix of a little bit of plate racing and a little bit of intermediate racing, where you have to lift, you have to be careful here when you're driving, and any sort of damage here is really bad for the car, for the truck. It will kill your car with just the tiniest bit of damage, so you have to be careful. Now they're too wide, too deep up towards the front. That's Jose Gonzalez pushing Kevin Brown. Don't forget about him. He makes some runs happen, usually late in the race, but early on he's looking strong.
You got a lot of room here to go, and like I said, our word we use a lot of is momentum. Now, the biggest thing with this track is it will get a little slick, can get a little tight there as the run goes on. You already see these trucks actually bouncing around. I've not run Michigan in a while, but it was one of my favorite tracks, and as they go 3 wide, we're second place right now.
Very fun track, and you can go 3 wide here. It's safe to do so. I've seen 4 wide, I've seen 5 wide. I once saw 6 wide, but you can only do something like that once, maybe. It gets a little bit too crazy after that, and everyone wants to be a little smarter. But how about 3 wide for the lead? Kevin Brown on the bottom, Tyler Dalton on the top. Meeting the sandwich, Randy Yoakum having a great run, and he's being pushed by Scott Stenzel in the 24.
Absolutely, 3 wide up front there. They're just door to door coming out of the turn. Randy Yoakum's going to take it to the top side. Kevin Brown's going to slip back a little bit there. Well, they are pushing and shoving early on here, but they went back 2 by 2. Randy Yoakum still up front. He's got a little damage to the rear end. I don't know how much that's going to affect him aero-wise because you're definitely going to need it. But Scott Stenzel rumbling to the front here, leading it.
Yeah, you definitely don't want that damage on the rear end. It will hurt and you will notice it, but he's making it work. But look behind him, a little bit swervy there was Richard Beasley. The air pushes these trucks around just like at Daytona and Talladega. He had to hold on to that thing and fight it. Now they're 3 wide for second, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like they're going to go 3 wide. They do decide to. This is a lot of intense battling here early on in Michigan. Let's see how long it lasts, though, before these guys decide to get it settled in. 10% of the way through the race already.
Well, you know, tires will come a factor as the run goes on. Right now, it doesn't seem like it. They're in worrying about it. They're still 2 and 3 wide up front, just trying to get everything they can. Draft does play a factor as Josh Parker, now the man out front. Richard Beasley along with him. They're 3 wide. He shoots it to the middle, trying to take that spot away. Well, he got a good shotgun move right there, and he's going to the lead.
Oh, the 54 there, I believe. Was he lap traffic? No.
Lap traffic, yep.
Yeah, he was lap traffic. Okay, mystery solved. That's Milt Matisse. He's got stuck up at the top there, and now he's falling back through the field. But Josh Parker now trying to work his way back out towards the front, looking low, thinks better of it. Now he decides to go once he got that run cooked up. They're side by side at the line. Josh takes it down to the apron and back up. He led that lap by 0.003 of a second. He's looking to get clear of Richard Beasley here by using that inside line, the shorter distance around. But up on top, carrying the momentum is Richard Beasley. Not enough, though, as the 23 of Josh Parker blocks the run.
Well, I'll tell you what, it could be, proved wrong here. I said it, as the run goes on, they might fan out a little bit. Right now, they're still glued door to door, almost in a plate-style formation right now. Up front, the top 2 guys, Josh Parker there, Richard Beasley. Like Scott Stenzel's going to, ease out of there. As the bottom lane looks like now is going away a little bit, because maybe that middle top lane is usually the place you want to kind of be here. But we'll have to see as the run goes on. Top 4 single file.
That's where I usually find myself towards the end of the race. As the race goes on, you migrate towards the top. And now, looking like these guys are starting to realize that and work their way up a little bit. You don't want to jump down to that apron. The more you're moving around the track, the more you're forcing the truck into places it doesn't want to be, the more you're wearing down those tires. And now 11 laps in, these drivers will start to notice their tires are starting to get worn. They'll slide around a little bit more. The lap times are starting to fall off. The fastest lap of the race was a 39.35 for Josh Parker. His fastest lap was a 39.35. Now he's running 39.95s. So he's about 6/10 slower, and that's after only 5 or 6 laps. So tire wear will certainly be a factor here. Who can hold on to them the best? As we've got a bit of a 3-car breakaway out front.
We're doing almost a battle up there too. You see Richard Beasley trying to see what he can do on the bottom down there. It looks like he's going to lose a lot of positions here as that puts old Scott Stencil. I tell you what, he might be the dark horse here tonight. Randy Yoakum's along with him there. Josh Parker out front, but here comes Tyler Dalton back to the high side. He's going to see what he can get done up there on the top lane.
Hey Joe, there's a story we're missing here. How about EJ O'Rourke from 25th now up to 6th? Man, he's making it work up here, making a lot of passes early on. Problem is, he probably used up his tires in some aggressive moves, but if he's still got him under him, man, he's pushing Richard Beasley right now. He's looking for the lead.
Well, I tell you what,
three wide, they touch.
Yeah, EJ right there, man, looking good, like you said. Now, he's one of the runners. He's sitting right there in that 8th place spot, not too far ahead. He was actually not looking forward to this racetrack. He said he's not very good here. Right now, he's looking pretty good. He's got Tyler Dalton. He's going to see if he can't push him up there. Everybody kind of single file now. But behind him there were Kevin Brown, who is, like I said, 3 points into the good, sitting in 10th place in the for the chase, because obviously this is their last race before the chase. Right now he's sitting in that 9th place spot, but I tell you, it's still a long way to go here.
You said Tommy Ryan was barely in the good. He was battling with Kevin Brown, right?
Ryan, my bad. Yep. Tommy Ryan is the one in the 10th place, but Kevin Brown is the one outside looking in, and he's needing to do. Where's Tommy Ryan at?
He's back in 32nd. His right rear is pretty heavily damaged.
Oh, yeah. He might have got caught up in that wreck earlier on. That whole front end's all tore up. And now let me rephrase on what I was. Go back to looking at what I was looking. Tommy Ryan is 3 points to the good. Kevin Brown's 3 points out as of right now. And again, unofficial. We'll just say unofficial. As of right now, Tommy Ryan would miss the chase. Devastating right there, because he's been having some very, very good runs here as of late. And Kevin Brown would get in. Now, also, Johnson. Yeah. Tim Johnson sitting in 12th. He's not far out either. He can make up some positions. So Tommy Ryan is definitely in trouble right now.
Yeah, I went back and took a look at it. He got into the back of Justin Fuller, and by checking up, Trey Edson got into the back of him. That's 3 of the strongest trucks out here, all heavily damaged.
Now, and obviously, Tommy does not want to just give up and say, a lot of people are like, well, why won't he just give up? Because, I mean, there's a long way to go. You never know. Kevin Brown could get into trouble. I mean, he's up here, man, fighting it out. He's where he needs to be. Now, Kevin probably at this point needs to think about it. Again, folks, it's kind of unofficial what we're talking. We don't know if this includes drop weeks, bonus points, etc. They're up there, man, just knocking teeth out of each other for the lead. Got Stencil and EJ and Randy Yoakum in, but Kevin probably wants, he might need to sit back and think, okay, right now I'm probably in the chase. I want to get up here. These guys are fighting pretty hard. Struck in the wall. That jacks up the field.
Still green here. Randy Yoakum might have been involved there. Yeah, he was. He's got some rear end damage from lap 1 as well.
I tell you what, there, I was talking about Kevin Brown. That was almost disastrous for him, because he almost got involved right there. When it looks like the 8 machine was the one that got up into the wall. Well, I am very surprised that this late in the run that they're able to stay side by side. Normally at this track, you don't really see that. You see them kind of fan out. I mean, and now you're starting to see kind of the field is, but Scott Stencil and Josh Parker, though, they said, hey, They'll prove you wrong. They're battling for the lead.
Battle up front, and now Randy Yoakum falling towards the back. EJ O'Rourke lying in wait, sitting in third place now. He's watching these guys side by side ahead of him, and he's just waiting. Patience is a virtue. Let's see how patient he is, though, as now that's Scott Stenzel there, who got cleared by Josh Parker. So Josh is now up ahead. Scott's in the middle. It's a bit of a 5-car train right there towards the front. EJ right in the middle, sitting third. Let's see where he decides to go. I think he's just riding at the moment.
Absolutely. Right now, he's just waiting in the weeds back there to see what these two guys in the front here are going to do. Well, Scott Stenzel came here tonight to fight. He definitely probably one of the best runs he's had all season long. Just been caught up in the wrong place, wrong time. But here comes EJ giving him a bump down the front stretch right there all over his tailgate.
Still running hard towards the front. Now EJ O'Rourke has gotten around Josh Parker. That 23 is up on his outside. I said he was clear, and right as I said that, Josh Parker battles back on the outside. And EJ O'Rourke lost that momentum on the inside. Let's see if he's able to get it back and try and gain a little bit on Scott Stenzel. They're side by side for second, though, and Scott Stenzel's pulling away.
That's it. Now, they got 3 tire sets here tonight, too, so keep that in mind. A lot of times, though, Michigan can go caution-free. I mean, obviously, the way they're racing up here, though, it's been close a couple times, but we'll just have to cross our fingers on it.
Yeah, there's been a few close calls. They're already a quarter of the way through this race, though, and with 3 sets of tires, that means this sort of is the opening to your window. Now, you're not going to come down and pit unless you need the fuel or your tires are absolutely shredded, which is not the case for any of these guys up front. So I think if you're out here, you run it out until you run out of fuel, and then you start worrying about tires. You come down and take 4.
That sounds good to me there. I tell you what, folks, we appreciate you here. This is the last race before the chase here. Now, we're off next week, obviously Labor Day week there and whatnot, but just a kick-ass beef jerky truck series here. You know, appreciate the guys here at the Sim500. It's been a good season so far, but after tonight, and then obviously after next week, we go and we start the chase, and that means 10 drivers are going to battle it out for the championship. And right now, they are battling up front. Scott Stenzel, he's got a run of his life up here going. He looks strong here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of drivers with strong runs out here. I'm still mostly impressed with EJ O'Rourke and Nick Silver from 25th to 3rd for EJ and 29th to 4th for Nick. These drivers are pushing hard and working their way up through the field with some good runs. Look at EJ. He is pushing Scott Stenzel around.
A lot of what I'm seeing, too, here, Jeff, is these trucks are looking, I mean, they're awful racy for one that we normally just don't see on here on Michigan, which, I mean, I could be wrong. It could have changed a lot since the last time I've done it, but also how twitchy they are. These guys are actually out there having to manhandle these trucks a little bit. So, there's a couple times out there there's been some close calls.
You're right, and I think a lot of that is the 10-mile-an-hour winds that are going on right now. 9, 10-mile-an-hour winds out of the west for these drivers. It is really pushing those trucks around and making them fight it.
Absolutely. Up top, man, you got a whole sling of machines up there. Down low, about 3 of them there, but they're holding their own. That's Scott Stenzel down there, EJ O'Rourke, and you got Jose Gonzalez with his big fast Oreo machine looking good, but so far, it's been all Josh Parker and Stenzel up front battling each other. Here comes Nick Silver to the outside. Kevin Brown still there. He's trying to make that buy to try to get into that top 10 of the chase. He's 3 points out right now, and unfortunately, Tommy Ryan got caught up in a wreck earlier on back in 32nd. And as if it was to end right now, by just mathematical numbers, obviously Kevin Brown would make it. Now, again, we'll say unofficial because we don't know what drop weeks or anything like that might come into play. So we'll try to get the official by the end of the race, but if not, we'll definitely let you know by in 2 weeks. Or you can check out sim500.com and look at the standings.
And while you're out there surfing the webs, you can also head over to kickassbeefjerky.com and use promo code SIM500 for 19% off.
There you go, absolutely. And they have some outstanding beef jerky there, too. An outstanding sponsor here of the Sim500, along with a multitude of other sponsors. I appreciate all of them coming on board here tonight and throughout the series and season here. It has been a very, very good regular season. Right now, it is a fight up front. Scott Stencil, Josh Parker, Nick Silver, Kevin Brown's there with Brian Macklin. You got a lot of fast guys up there. Jose's in the mix. I don't know who in the world's going to pull it off, but look at Nick Silver drive that thing to the inside.
EJ's starting to fall back a little bit. I don't know if that's planned or if he's just burnt up his tires. I think, honestly, he's probably burnt up his tires here as he's trying to hold on to that truck, find a little bit more speed. Nick Silver, though, now he's picking up the slack and trying to run. He's side by side with Scott Stenzel, trying to run down Josh Parker here, who's got about a truck length. And as I say that, he has to throw black on Stenzel and gets a bit of a kiss to the back bumper from Stenzel as a thank you.
Yellow flag.
And now
wow.
a caution.
Oh, back in the back.
O'Leary involved. The 17 of Chad Cole. Oh, wow. Who was that up on the outside?
Let's go back and watch it here. I know Paul was involved.
Yeah, Paul was well, he was a little more than just involved. He went up, hit the wall, and then went back down into Thomas. Took out Thomas, Chad Cole.
He got looks like the 41 of EJ right there had to check up, and he was right behind him, and it might have checked up the field. The 08 was right behind him. Looks like EJ was having a little bit of, oh yeah, and then he went up there and got the wall, and he came back down, slapped the side, and I think that's Chad Coleman, the 17.
Chad Cole.
Chad Cole. Okay.
Yeah.
I think Chad Cole in a while, so Coleman out there. But yeah, unfortunately, just like EJ was having a little trouble in the truck, kind of just checked up just a little bit, you know, and just nowhere to go. Just one of them racing incidents out there. Everything happens so fast here on a fast track like Michigan. But puts us under caution here for the second time tonight. And now, obviously, you know, EJ don't want to get into any trouble. He fell back to 10th there because, you know, he still could. Now, obviously, with Tommy Ryan having the problems he's having, he would almost have to fall out the race, I would think, at this moment. But he still wants to be careful. Now, I know these guys want to win, but sometimes you got to look at the big picture. Championship.
Right. Would you rather win a race or win the championship? It'd be nice to do both, but if I had to choose one or the other, absolutely take the championship and be smart in one race here.
Oh yeah, there you go. I mean, I've always said it. You know, consistency wins championships. Like you just said, it's always nice to win races and all. Now, obviously, with the chase format like it is, you still could win championships by being consistent. I mean, obviously, if you finish top 3 every race in the chase, mathematically and hypothetically, you're probably going to, unless the other guy that wins it, well, wins every race in the chase or finishes one position in front of you every time. Most likely, if you was to be that consistent throughout the entire chase, I'll say 9 times out of 10, you're going to be a champ. But you got to be consistent. And it is a race.
Absolutely. And now some fresh tires coming out for all these guys. It's exactly what they wanted, I'm sure. After 29 laps, they're finally getting fresh rubber here. But who is that ahead of Josh Parker? Nick Silver, Daniel Falkingham, Jeff Shrewsbury both stayed out. Shrewsbury is on the lead lap, but I believe Daniel Falkingham, Falkingham is 2 down, but Shrewsbury is staying out.
All right. See if that actually pays off. Been a very good, entertaining one here tonight, and it looks like everybody took 4 tires. Gonna put them all back on the tire strategy here, pretty much throughout the field, and what that's, well, from what we've seen for the first 20, 30 some laps, they never actually really got away from side by side. So I'll say they're going to go right back to being side by side. Doing homework tonight?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I'm enjoying this taco, though.
Good.
Listen, Joe, it's Taco Wednesday. What do you want a man to do?
Supposed to be 2.
Shoot.
Hey, late dollar short, huh?
I know. I didn't have any kick-ass beef jerky to enjoy tonight, so I had to make tacos.
There you go. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Tacos and a nice cold Sprite.
Ah. Got some sweet tea.
I knew it.
Yeah. I had an oatmeal cookie, too.
That's not bad at all, actually.
Now, Jeff Shrewsbury did pit. Hogan pit. He pitted on lap 26
Oh.
and got 4 tires. So he's only about 2 or 3 laps off from what these guys are, Nick Silver and all. So I don't really think it's going to hurt him too bad. I mean, obviously, we're going to have to see as the run goes on. But from what I saw from the first part of this, I don't think it's really going to hurt him too bad. And as I say that, never mind, here comes Josh Parker just going to blow his doors off.
I think that's just because he got too far out ahead, though, and that inside line was sort of formed up.
Yep. You know, and that's another thing I've seen tonight. You know, this place is really, it's got that Talladega Daytona feel to it, so to speak. It's really, these guys are obviously this track you can utilize the draft. I mean, it's that big and it's that fast, but it looks like it's more than what it normally is here, that these guys are almost plate racing, so to speak, on a 2-mile track.
The speeds are about the same. They're doing 189, 190 into the corners, so that's about plate track speeds.
And right now, you got Scott Stencil battling on the outside. Brian Macklin right there door to door with him. You got Josh Parker, and they going around.
Shrewsbury.
Yep. Ouch.
And Beasley involved as well. Locks it down. He's going to need 4 fresh ones.
Well, let's
Oh, just a miscommunication. The 10 stuck his nose in under the 12, and it sucked them together.
park here and watch it here so the viewers can see it. All right. Got Jose right there. Kevin Brown's there. A little further back right now. Catch up here in a second. Well, we saw Jeff. He was falling back up there on the top lane. A lot of guys were just gaining on him, and like you said, just they went 3 wide. Next thing they just caught each other. 28 machine there of around also. That was Tim Johnson. Also. And remember, Tim Johnson was about 18 points out. So he had, mathematically had a shot, but now
that front end damage. Yeah. It's a lot of front end damage.
And I'm not sure. I mean, like I say, it was only 2 lap difference or so on tires. I wonder what happened on Jeff's part there. Why he was falling off so bad. All I know is right now, Scott Stencil, Brian Macklin and company up front, and Josh Parker, those guys have been fast all night long.
Taking a look back at it, I think what happened with Jeff towards the front there was he got too far out front on the start, and then he got blown by a group of cars that were all working together and drafting, just like at a plate track like we were talking about. Then he was so far off the pace that nobody else really wanted to work with him because he was so much slower, so it just sort of compounded and snowballed. So I don't think he was off the pace and damaged. I think it was just he got too far out front, everyone blew by him, and because those guys that blew by him were going so fast, everyone else got pulled around him that fast, and it just sort of, snowballed down for him.
Yeah, and once that happens, really, like you say, on a plate track, is really, on plate tracks, there's really nothing you can do. A track like here, there are no plates involved in these tracks, but the giraffe plays a factor, and like what you just said there. Once that draft started playing in the factory, he was just falling like a rock in water, and nothing they could do.
Absolutely. The only way to make the night better is to go grab another ice cold Sprite. So I think that's what I'll do on behalf of these guys, because they can't, drink something and drive. So I'll do it for them. How's that sound?
I hear you. Well, it has been a good one here. Everybody's enjoying it. Get everybody out there tuning in. Here live tonight, OSR Network, online simracingnetwork.com, your home for fun and exciting sim racing. Here on YouTube and on Facebook. This is the last race before the chase starts here for the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky. And we've been talking about that top 10, and it's really close between 10th, 9th, and on there. So right now, Tommy Ryan was 3 points ahead of Kevin Brown. Unfortunately, as we're sitting, Kevin Brown sitting in 6th. Tommy Ryan caught up in a wreck earlier on back at 27th. But, and again, anything can happen. Let's go back green. Will be good. I love it. And we'll be off next week, next Wednesday. So I hope everybody has a good, was it Labor Day? I believe it is. Yep, Labor Day. Everybody has a good one. And kind of the official end kind of summer, usually what they say that is. Comes to a close and we head off into my favorite time of year, fall and winter. I like Christmas time, so.
I love Christmas.
Yeah, me too, man. Tell you, fun time. Green flag and Scott Stencil out front.
That he is. He's celebrating a little bit early here. An early Christmas present for him would be a nice win tonight for that 24. But Josh Parker down there on the bottom is looking for it, and he's got the run. He's pulling Nick Silver with him.
Well, I tell you right now, Josh Parker has been up front all night long. Like you said, Nick Silver right there pushing. But Brian Macklin up top. There's Chad Coleman and EJ. They're back up there now. I tell you, it's just been a who's who of trucks up front tonight. Oh, who's going to pull this thing off?
Yeah, it's gonna be a run to the end here. Josh Parker has a full plate with Nick Silver, Scott Senzel, Brian Macklin, and Chad Coleman all right behind. But don't forget about EJ O'Rourke as well, and Jose Gonzalez, as well as Tyler Dalton. That's 8 trucks right there that could all win this race. All of them have an equal chance, I think.
All right, Josh Parker still out front. Here comes Nick Silver. He's going to rumble to the outside, and he's got Scott Stencil pushing along with Brian Macklin right there. And who's that? Chad Coleman.
Chad Coleman.
Yeah, I hadn't seen him up there hosted tonight. Tyler Dalton sitting back there too, along with EJ. But I tell you that, the big battle right now is those top 4 trucks. They just won't give an inch.
Yeah, you have to defend your position here, but you also have to take care of those tires. If I'm out front, I'm a little worried. Granted, I always find myself falling into the trap here at Michigan of using my tires up in 5 laps, and then I have nothing for the rest of the race. But I don't know. Hopefully these guys can do a better job than I usually do, and looks like they're doing a great job of it.
And what we've seen, and I know what you're talking about right there. You're talking tires is what we'd normally see, but in that first run, it didn't seem like none of these guys were dropping off tires. And normally, I'm with you, that middle high lane is where you want to be, but they've made the low line work, the high lane work, and now they're all single file. We'll have to see how it works out, but so far it's just been kind of a little bit different.
It has, and something different here. Speaking of things that are new, here comes Nick Silver down on the bottom for the first time tonight. taking the lead, and he's got 2 truck lengths back to Josh Parker. But Josh is going to get that big draft, and he's going to run him over on the straightaway here. Watch. He cuts it down. Oh, he decides not to cut it down to the inside. Maybe on corner entry he'll make the move, but he had the run to do it and decided not to make it there. 23 Josh Parker holds back.
And maybe so, because we've seen it all night long. Somebody's tried to drop down low and not been able to 100% make the pass, or maybe wasn't confident on it. Like you said, you can see him here on the front stretch. He gets a run right up on the back bumper. He's going to the high side. That draft really is huge here tonight, and I think that's why we're seeing multi-grooves here that we normally wouldn't see.
Yeah, Michigan has a lot of different lanes that you can run in. It's a great place to watch some racing at here. This race has been phenomenal so far, and I think we got a whole lot more of it. We're only halfway down, still got 40 laps to go.
There it is, and a good battle up front. Nick Silver still down low, and normally you would see maybe that high lane right there where Josh Parker was have the advantage coming out of those turns, but Nick's able to still hold down there, but he's going to have the help of Chad Coleman. Got Stencil and company, and they might be able to freight train him going by here on the front stretch. As I say that, maybe not.
Yeah, but he'll have the run on corner exit here, just that speed up on the high line, and he's got the 2 trucks behind him as well. That's going to get Josh Parker clear for sure. Chad Coleman coming up behind him. But now Nick Silver's still hanging there, doing a great job. But I think the outside line is going to prevail in the long run here.
And you know, that's I normally would agree on that, but we've just not seen it.
3
and
wide.
I don't understand. Yeah, now we're 3 wide. Chad Coleman just says, heck with y'all got to sit up there and battle. I'm going to try to see if I can't just scoop down low, and holy cow, he's going to make that pass work. And then look at that. Nick Silver made the pass. Josh Parker's going to sling it down. Well, I'm going to tell you what, this is a huge battle up front and a lot of aggressive moving.
And here comes the 24, Scott Stenzel. He's looking for room to run. They're 3 wide, 2 deep here. All of them going for the lead. Then you got Kevin Brown behind. Now the outside line will falter. Nick Silver has to fall back. Now the run goes to Chad Coleman up on the outside, but holding on strong. He's the 23 of Josh Parker. Everyone's looking for room, looking for real estate, and looking for, more importantly than anything else, a draft so they can get some speed going into turn 1. Chad Coleman's got it with Nick Silver pushing.
Well, what's impressive is we were just talking about when Nick Silver was down low that outside lane should have prevailed, but he held strong down there and was able to push it. Then they went 3 wide and was able to get around, and now Josh Parker's falling back to 5th. Now out front, Chad Coleman. But so I'm sitting here right now of, okay, which one is it going to be? Is it going to be the low or high lane? And normally, I'm with you, it should be the middle high, but right now these guys are able to utilize the low, high, and I think the draft really is playing a huge factor right now. That's some close quarter racing too. I'm a little nervous on some of those moves out there because they are definitely close. Look at Josh Parker and Scott Stencil and back there with Kevin Brown too.
You're right, and now the tires are starting to get worn, and when you make a move, it might not stick anymore with how worn the tires are starting to get. When you're racing this hard, sometimes the truck just slides up, and that can cause some major issues.
And I'm looking at a lot of these guys jacking around. Look back here with Tyler Dalton, Shane Ewing and company back there with EJ. They're 3 wide. You can see these guys just jumping all over the place. And here comes old Justin Fuller. Ain't talked about him all night long, but I knew he would show up into the party eventually. So got Jose Gonzalez, Joey Catina's back there too. I mean, really here, Jeff, I mean, are we at Daytona?
I mean, honestly, we could be. It's a phenomenal race up here, and these guys are still doing a great job. Now they're single file, though.
And I tell you, you know, another thing I'm seeing is as much as these trucks are moving around and the moves that they're making, they haven't killed each other up here. You know, they've been able to hang on to them. So I'm just waiting for one of them guys to get out there and clip something.
And I mentioned it earlier. If you clip something, it's gonna be a loss of momentum, but also damaging that truck is huge. It does so much damage without even realizing it. And now they look to go 3 wide and think better of it. But what I mean by that is if you take a tiny crinkle on the hood, it may not look like much, but it will kill your speed, and you'll be 2 or 3 mile an hour slower. Doesn't sound like much, but when you're racing at 190 and everyone around you's going 193, yeah, you'll notice it.
Man, I'm going to tell you what, Josh Parker just threaded that truck in there to a place that you wouldn't have thought it would have fit, but it did. And look at Scott Stencil now rumbling back to the front. They go single file for a little bit. Now Stencil down low. Chad Coleman's up high. You got Josh Parker there. Hey, folks, it's almost going to be a lottery on who pulls this thing off tonight.
Now big run goes to the inside, and that'll clear Scott Stencil. Chad Coleman leading the way. Josh Parker looking to follow. He'll get clear of the 24. Nick Silver is now going to be side by side. That's for third. Josh Parker looking to go to the bottom here on Chad Coleman. Gets a push from Nick Silver, and that's a 3-car pack. Kevin Brown bringing up the tail end, and that inside line now has the speed.
You got to imagine the throttle control it takes up there along with the patience. I know as a driver you feel kind of a little antsy and, hey, I got a fast car, I can get up front. Get out front there a little bit, then you got another freight train coming around you. You've got to have the mental, aspect to say, hey, got to hold this truck steady, can't make, any crazy moves. But we've seen some guys get awful close with a lot of things here and tonight, and I'd end up wrecking. Justin Fuller up to 8. I haven't talked about him much, but he's right there on the back end of Tyler Dalton. They are still door to door, bumper to bumper up there. I mean, it's a tailgate party for the lead.
It is, and right now, you mentioned Justin Fuller. Look at the back end of his truck, how much damage there is on the rear end. That's absolutely hurting his speed, and I genuinely think if he didn't have that damage, he'd be the one leading this race. But the fact that he's making this work now and is up to 7 once he gets past Brian Macklin here and gets a run on Tyler Dalton, I think if he didn't have that damage, he would be winning.
I'll tell you what, you still don't want to count out old Fast Fuller right there. That guy, like I said, 1 speed, wide open, and he's battling there with Tyler Dalton for 6th place. As up front, they are still swapping positions left and right. Nick Silver takes it back to the point. Josh Parker right there in tow behind him. Chad Coleman there. Kevin Brown still definitely making it known that, hey, he wants to make the chase, and if he does, watch out, he could be a contender in this thing as it goes on. The top 10 here in that chase definitely going to be it. But right now the battle's on back here with Fuller, Jose Gonzalez and company.
Yeah, that's looking to be the best battle on the track here. You got Jose Gonzalez pushing Justin Fuller on the inside. Tyler Dalton almost gets into the back end of Scott Stencil in the 24 up on the outside, but now Scott gets clear. It's starting to get up to be single file. Jose Gonzalez jumps into line as well. Now Tyler Dalton is side by side. It's a single file line there from 1st to 8th.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, Scott Stencil took every bit of real estate on the track right there to come off the turn. He was probably mere centimeters away from the wall, and that's basically running that thing up the track, because that's what you got to do here. Usually that's how it is at a like turn floor. You let it just drift all the way up the track. We talk about that word momentum. But tonight we've seen a lot of guys utilize the low line, but right now Scott Stencil right behind Justin Fuller and company. As you see, Fuller has to get out of it and goes high. They're 3 wide, and this is a close affair coming out of 2.
Very close racing there as they're looking to go 3 wide, way further back. Man, these guys really want it. Shane Ewing with a great run from 28th up to 8th now, making a late race push. Lap 53 of 80. This is the time to start working your way up because it takes time at Michigan. You have to plan these in advance.
Yeah, it does. Old Shane Ewing right there. No mom's jumping up and down, doing cartwheels in the living room. She's loving it. He's up to 7th right now. Scott Stencil still hanging strong in 6th. It's Josh Parker leading it, though, but he looks behind him, and here comes Kevin Brown in that Twitch Twinkie mobile out there. We'll say it that way. And, hey, he's got a fan viewer going on. Them people have been rocking right now because he's up to 2nd. He'd love to put it in victory lane here tonight. Got to see. You got Nick Silver there, though, still. Chad Coleman and company, but I don't know. Don't count out that man in that 51. If he's still got any fenders or tires left on that thing that'll roll, he's going to try to be there at the end. I'm going to tell you why. Just look, we got 26 laps left to go in the race. I'm so wrapped up in this action up front that has just been non-stop. I can't believe, I mean, really, I'm kind of at awe and amazed. Because normally at a Michigan track, they would already get single file, maybe kind of spread out a little bit. See Nick right there got a little high and got up into the wall, but just scraped it. No harm, no foul. Just wiped a little paint off. But you would already see them probably usually at this point in the race get single file and kind of get spread out a little bit. But these guys, it's still anybody's race, even on the older set of tires. But now, you do have some green flag stops. There's where I think it will get interesting, because when you make your pit stop and when you don't.
Yeah, most of these guys still have another set of tires, so using that when they will use it and taking advantage of that, another strategy move here, and I think they're going to need a little bit more fuel as well, if I'm correct.
Well, with 25 to go, if they pitted now, could they make it the rest of the way?
Yes.
Okay. And see, now here's another thing. Obviously we don't want to see it because it's been such a great race, but obviously a caution, as you see Kevin Brown takes to the point. A caution is probably what these guys up here really would want at this point right now, so that way they wouldn't have to reworry anything. A green flag pit stop is going to shake it up, unless every one of these guys come in at the same time. But if you start getting, let's say, 2, 3, maybe 4 cars at a time coming in, you know and I know that starts splitting the field up. You got to start worrying about, do you got enough time to come back and chase them other trucks down? Right now, being in the pack, it's anybody's ball. As you can see right now, they are 2 by 2 by 2 up front. It's pretty much a plate track race up front now.
That it is, and oh no, Fuller! Oh wow, how did he save it? Fuller got up into
the other truck saved it.
Who is that?
Wow.
Oh, that's Chad Coleman.
Well, I'm going to tell you, that could have been the big one at Michigan. Now, it does make them 3 wide back there a little bit. As you see, looks like Chad Coleman has to get out of it, and everybody's just trying to hustle and get him around. Now, that's the one thing about here in Michigan. You've got the room to do that, and that's probably what saved them a little bit. And now we got a truck in the grass. Don't come up on the track there. That was Josh Parker that went on the thing, and now we got trucks wrecking. Kevin Brown is down low. Go back on the replay and see what happened here, because I saw Josh Parker cut off down into the grass. I don't know if maybe him and Evan at first got together. Let's see, because down the front stretch right here, oh yeah, they made contact. And Josh Parker went flying off down in the grass. Kevin Brown had to get out of it. And then from there, the 5, got a little bit. Oh, Kevin Brown might have just dodged a bullet right there, so to speak. Because, man, that was close. Joe Hudson, though, unfortunately out of that one. And Milt Teese was involved in that one too. So Kevin Brown, we've been talking about all night long, knocked him back to 14th. Remember we was talking about Tommy Ryan? Tommy Ryan sitting in 17th, 18th. So there's only 3 points separating them two. And we was talking about Tommy still staying out there, and now it's going to get interesting.
That's exactly why you never give up. That's exactly why you keep running.
Anything can happen. And there is damage on Kevin Brown's machine. We'll have to see. So Tommy right now has to keep doing what he's doing and hoping that damage on Kevin's truck is bad enough that he'll maybe lose another 4 or 5 positions, and Tommy can stay right there in front of him, because I'm going off the fact of it's 1 point per position, which is normal NASCAR. If so, obviously it's only 3 positions ahead. And wow, this could change a lot. Looks like he's going to stay on pit road and get a little bit of optional repair. And guess what? Why he's doing that? Tommy Ryan is off pit road. Kevin Brown is now in 20th, and Tommy Ryan came out of pit road in 13th. Guess what that does? That puts
him back in
Tommy
front.
Ryan, puts him back in the 10th spot. All night long, Kevin Brown has had a truck up front fast, battling with the leader there, along with Josh Parker, who got a little bit of contact between them. Josh Parker's still back up to 8. A little bit of contact between those two. And there's what I take it back to, Jeff. It's a racer's mentality. I understand you want to win the race, but you need to know what the circumstances are also as a driver. You need to understand when you're going for a championship, because this right here could very well have just knocked Kevin Brown out of racing for the title. And I said it earlier, being content where you are. Again, I get it. Racers, they want to win. But the ultimate picture is being a champ. And that's the big picture. There's always going to be times to win races. Always. But there's not always going to be a time to get in a chase and be a champion.
10-4 on that one. You run 35 races a year, but you only get 1 chance at a championship, so you have to be smart.
Yeah, and you know, and again, like I say, I understand the racer side of it there. You know, adrenaline pumping, you want to get it. I mean, it's still not over. We'll have to see what happens with Tommy. He is up in the 12th. Kevin is back on the track, back at 20th. Obviously, he did some of the optional repairs. Maybe that'll make that truck a lot better than what it was. Gonna make his work cut out. I mean, we still got a little bit to go. 19 laps here. Anything can happen. I mean, we've seen how these guys have raced up front, but it will be a something we're going to keep our eye on. But up front, that puts Richard Beasley. Justin Fuller, boy, has just been a rumble to the front. Brian Macklin and Scott Stencil. And Doey Woods up in 5th. Still don't know. It's going to be a who's who to win this thing. Pace truck's in. Richard Beasley and company up front. Green flags are back in the air. We're back racing here at Michigan. And Richard gets a good jump. Let's see if that draft's able to run him down too. Scott Stencil's right there.
Scott Stencil is there. Justin Fuller up on the outside, getting a push from Brian Macklin. Let's see which line prevails. Richard Beasley, the sit and duck. They're 3 wide for the lead now. Beasley in the middle. Jose Gonzalez pushing Stencil on the bottom. Brian Macklin pushing Fuller on the top. Oh, Fuller into the wall. He's got even more rear end damage, and that truck's just glued to the wall. There he goes. Off screen, he's gone. Shane Ewing now looking to work his way up. You got the 07 of Doy Woods up there as well. But Richard Beasley now trying to get the lead back from Scott Stencil. And Jose Gonzalez lying in wait here as they now complete another lap. They've got just 17 to go.
Well, I tell you what, right there, that's a perfect example of how this place is when you drift up the track. And that wall just jumps out and bites you. And, oh, Shane Ewing and Doey Woods door slammed each other right there. You can already see him and these guys up there throwing punches with each other all night. Nick Silver's there in the mix. Just to give you a heads up, Tommy Ryan's still in 11th. Kevin Brown's moved up to 17th right now, so something we'll keep our eye on right there. E.J. O'Rourke's hanging on the 13th spot, so he's still good to the good here also. But the man up front, Scott Stencil, but he has got a whole rear view tailgate full of Richard Beasley, and here comes Speedy on the outside with him. I think the place to be is going to probably be in the second or third or maybe fourth place. I don't think you want to be the leader on the last lap here.
No, I don't know. That's tough because at a plate track, you usually want to be second place at the white flag. But here, you can block runs and really make something happen. Now Jose Gonzalez, let's see what he's able to do. He's known for these late race runs, winning it at the end. Been a while since he's won, though. Let's see if he's able to pull it off. Side by side at the line, it's going to be Jose that leads it by just 13 thousandths of a second.
Well, if he plays it like he did back at Daytona where he won it early on in the season, then he definitely can bring it home. And right now, he is leading it all in his Oreo machine. But you see him as he drifts up high. Here comes down low.
Whoa, there goes
Parker, man.
Yeah,
Wow.
Parker. Crossed about 4 lanes to make that move, and he was barely clear in all of them.
Well, I'm going to tell you, we've seen that being done all night long. Guys just taking wild moves like that. They're going to have to. I mean, this place right now is just dictated off the draft. I really don't see anyone up front dominating right now. It's pretty much an all draft style race. And look who that is, 8th place, Brandon Webb. Oh, we haven't even talked about him all night long. He's up to 7th too. So it's just amazing. I'm gonna start to say that this might be anybody's race at this point.
Oh, for sure it is.
Give you an update right now. Tommy Ryan is in 13th. Kevin Brown is right there behind him in 14th. I'm going to tell you what, still, there's 3 points separating them two. Now, that's in mathematical forms. Again, it's unofficial. We don't know of all the other details, bonus points, drop week, etc., etc. We're just going off what the chart is, folks. But it's 3 points separating that 10th place spot to make the chase. Right now, Tommy Ryan holds it. Kevin Brown's going on the inside of him. So he's going to have to at least get 4 positions ahead of Tommy Ryan right now. Now, what me saying that, Kevin has led some laps here tonight. So if there's any bonus points there, that could come into play. Anything like that. So that's why I'm saying it's kind of unofficial. But right now, Kevin Brown has put himself back in a position to get back into 10th place. In points, that is.
Right, in points. And now up towards the front, though, Jose Gonzalez still pushing like crazy to try and make something happen. He's on the outside of Nick Silver. Josh Parker still leads the way. But Doy Woods, side draft, and Shane Ewing Hart, they came together earlier, so could still be some bad blood, some drivers frustrated with each other. Man, they're racing each other hard there. And now he's got to run. Doy Woods, there he goes, dives it to the bottom, to the inside of Scott Stenzel.
And here's the thing, you know, it's frustrating as a driver because you're just sitting there and there's nothing you can do. And you see, man, Scott looked like he wanted to go low, just not that door wasn't open at the time. Shane Ewing's hanging on down there below in 6th place. You can see these trucks just bouncing around. They're trying to find the best lane to do, where the draft's at, what possibly can help them get to the front. But right now, it's all Josh Parker. Right behind him, Nick Silver, Jose. Here comes Doey down low. And a little update, Kevin Brown's in 12th. Tommy Ryan is 15th. That's exactly a 3-position difference. And as I say that, yep, there's still a 3-position difference there. So, again, unofficial. Not to see, but man, this battle up front here, Jeff, I'm going to tell you, for second, third on back, it's crazy.
Yeah, they are really running hard, and I don't know if I like how hard they're running. Just 10 laps to go here. Nick Silver goes right up to the door. Jose Gonzalez, Doy Woods right to the inside of Scott Stenzel. These guys all want to win. These guys all can win.
Oh, absolutely, they can right now.
Oh, contact, Jose Gonzalez.
Yeah, they just, I mean, we've seen contact all night long, and these guys have been able to hold on to it. It's amazing what they've done in these trucks. Doey Woods, though, is going to rumble there to the 4th. Jose and Nick Silver going to hang on to the 2nd, 3rd place spot for the moment, but you see Scott Stenzel right there side drafting. This is some intense style racing right now. And they're around.
Oh, there goes Jose Gonzalez.
Oh,
into
Scott
Doy Woods.
Stenzel's involved.
Oh, Scott Stenzel as well. Doy Woods, Scott Stenzel, and Jose Gonzalez all involved there.
Oh man, I tell you what, I hate that. But again, that's kind of what we were about to see. And let's go up here and we'll watch it one more time. We watched a lot of it there live, and unfortunately, Scott Stenzel got the bad end of the stick on that one. And that's just pretty much summarized his whole season. He's had some good runs, and then just wrong place, wrong time there. You see Doy Woods and Jose Gonzalez. They were battling side by side, and Doy just got up there into the side of Jose, and then the next thing you know, Scott couldn't get it woed down, and then he just got slung into the inside wall. But yeah, just door-to-door racing.
That was more net code, Joe. They net coded into each other.
Yeah. They still was going to hit either way. It just racing, and we've seen it all night long. I mean, and unfortunately, Scott Stenzel, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah.
I hate that on his end. Just, frustrating as a driver. I know it's got to be frustrating as a. Now, see a multitude of trucks coming down on pit road. What? What do you think? Tommy Ryan stayed out.
I think if you've got tires, you got to come and take them because you're on a 20-lap run. Yeah. If you had tires, come take them. If you don't, then yeah, you got no choice. Your bet is made.
Well, this is interesting. Kevin Brown came in. He didn't take 4 tires. Looks like he took he either took 2 or took fuel. He's going to come back out 12. Tommy Ryan stayed out. Ain't got anything to lose, I guess. That's probably what he's thinking. Maybe there could be another quick caution here.
He might be out of tires.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a lot of pit stops, but he could be, going in, haven't really kept up. It could be pit stops. He's went in there, for optional repair, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not sure how many sets he's taken. I know he's taken 5 pit stops, but I know his last one that he took was 14 seconds, so I'm going to say he did take tires then. Was on lap 60, so he's not that far off, really. I mean, if he's sitting on, let's say he's sitting on four fresh tires from lap 60, might not be a bad move here. I mean, obviously he has nothing to lose, and he's 3 points ahead of Kevin Brown. That's what he's thinking about. And I think that's pretty much all he's thinking about. I don't really think he's thinking I'm going to win this race. He's hoping probably that Kevin can't get through the field quickly and time just basically runs out. I think that's pretty much all it is,
That's all you can do, is you got to just hope that things work out your way. At this point, their bets are made. It's time to lay in them, and wherever the cards fall, they fall.
And, this is exactly what you do. Again, earlier I was talking about how Kevin Brown got caught up in the wreck and was up front there. But obviously he's still in good position to maybe make up and still get in that top 10 there for the chase. But Tommy right now understands I don't have the truck to win, but yet he's gambling here that Kevin's not going to be able to get through the field in time and not be fast enough. And Kevin's going to basically hope that his tires are good enough, and Tommy is just not that good, and he can get through the field. So won't be interesting. Pace truck's in, here we go. And again, it could be chaos up front. Everybody takes off, green flag flies. They got separated pretty good up front too.
Yeah, now that's Trey Edson there trying to hold on and make something happen. I really don't know how long they're going to last on these old tires, though. When those new tires get to them, they're going to blow right by.
And they will, you know that, and I know that. It's just a matter of just time and hanging on. As you see, Kevin Brown is pushing for everything he's worth. He's kind of caught up right there behind. Looks like Josh Parker for the moment. As these guys are 3 and 4 wide. Oh, man, I tell you, that's close.
Way too close. Kevin Brown takes it down to the apron on the bottom of 3 wide, 3 deep. A little bit of contact ahead of them. They all make it work. 3 wide, 5 deep. It's just a full cluster. It's a full cluster of trucks. And now they're going around. Tommy Ryan involved. Tommy Ryan's around. That's it for him.
It is, man. I tell you what, wrong place, wrong time for him. Man, Tommy Ryan had probably, I think, the perfect setup there to try to end this thing. But let's go back, watch it again. Was watching a little bit live there. I mean, they were 3 and 4 wide there. Really nothing he could do. Kevin Brown was able to sneak by on that, but Tommy up front, Joey Woods was along with him. Tommy basically just sitting there going, I don't know what in the world. Now, actually, Joey threw a block on Tommy. Might have got kind of a little slow.
It got him loose.
And actually, Shane Ewing was loose, just came down into him, and then from there it was a chain reaction from there. There's nothing you could do.
Nothing that Tommy could have done. Like you said, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, Shane just got a little bit loose on that one and just came down, like I say, wrong place. Kevin Brown up in third. Now, here's where Kevin needs to understand. Well, actually, really, don't have to worry about it at this point. I don't think he could pretty much go for the win. Tommy's going to be way back in 24th position. Well, I say he'd go for the win. He still, if he wrecked at this moment, fall back. Good. Definitely don't want to wreck. Still don't want to wreck. You want to finish. Ultimately finish. Gonna be wild. Alright. Now who's gonna pull this one off? Oh, Don Runkle Jr. up there in 12th though. Mike Motesi up there in 13th. Now they sneaking up there, ain't they? It's essentially gonna be a green-white checker.
Yeah, it will be a green-white checkered. And it's the only attempt they get at one. Only one attempt.
Yeah, Nick, Shane had a good truck there. Just looks like it just, came out from under him, got a little bit loose on him, and unfortunately just chain reaction there. I was pulling for him. Had a lot of good trucks here tonight, but kind of what close-quartered wheel-to-wheel style racing is here. You just never know what's going to happen. It's been crazy. Crazy. I would have never expected this track to be like this tonight, or a race to be like this.
Yeah, a lot of green flag running. For the most part, the race has been under green. Makes me need a tall glass of water, I think.
And it's been side by side too. That's another thing. It's like, wow. I mean, that's another one that not used to really seeing a lot like this. So, guys have put on a show here tonight. All right. Go. Green flag. Who's going to be?
I'll tell you what, that could have been the tallest, coolest glass of water I've had today.
Ah, okay. All right, gonna line them up side by side. Go. You for the final time here. You only get one attempt here. Nick's at 1 or 2. Only 1. Race truck's in. Bowie Woods and company up front. See if he's got the truck, get it done. He gets the jump, green flag flies. We're back racing, and Ray Edson back there, he knows he's got front end damage. He just gets out of the way and lets these guys go.
Now, if you got tires, time to use them. Doy Woods to the lead, but Josh Parker has the fresher tires. He's got the advantage up on the outside. Kevin Brown is going to follow. Here comes Nick Silver as well, and EJ O'Rourke going to make a big run, big swing. Stuck in the middle, takes it to the top. He's the top of 3 wide.
Right there, Doy Woods, man, right in the middle of all that. Kevin Brown's there in the mix, too. Here comes Nick Silver down low. Justin Fuller's up there, too. As they're going to collect that, they collect a white flag. Yellow flag came out.
Oh, the race
right
will end
before
under
they
caution.
got it. So, if they only have 1 attempt, that's it. I'll have to wait till official word on this one. If so, then that's going to put Josh Parker winning it. Kevin Brown in second. Nick Silver up in the third, but we saw Doy Woods just go around. Ouch. We'll wait and see right here on this one. What a run to the front. Checkered flag flies next time around. We know it's over with. I could say it has been an exciting race, and there you go, checkered flag. Josh Parker's going to win this one, so there's 1 attempt at a green-white. Nick Silver, because the yellow flag flew right as soon as they were taking it across the line, but man, what a run. Josh Parker's going to win this one. Nick Silver up in the second. Kevin Brown is going to be home in third, and as of right now, we can say, yes, made it into the chase, but we'll know 100%. As soon as all the numbers are in. Wow, what a run. What a race. All right, bring third place man up here. Let's get a word with him, Kevin Brown.
Kevin, Jeff up in the booth. You got a copy?
I got you.
Well, you had a bit of a crazy race, but I want to ask first and foremost, how focused on you throughout the entire run were you on where Tommy Ryan was running and keeping an eye on him while you were trying to run your own race?
I love it. I was so focused on Tommy. I was probably more focused on Tommy than I was the race. I was having my teammates call out where he was the whole race, and it sucks that he got involved in everything. That's not the way I wanted to get in the playoffs over him, but, you know, stuff happens.
Right, you got to take them as they come. This was a very intense race. People were slicing and dicing for the lead. How worried were you up towards the front there when people were cutting across 3 or 4 lanes at a time to try and make a run?
Oh God, it was crazy. About 5 or 10 times, I've probably missed a couple of wrecks up there, and we kept slicing and dicing, and it was on the straightaway. I don't know if the toe was weird or whatnot, but it would want to bob and weave on the front straightaway, and it was hard to keep it straight, but we all managed to somewhat keep it straight.
Well, that's great to hear that you were able to keep it in one piece, though, and come out of it in third. Who do you have to thank for this finish tonight?
I like to thank my team, Still Horse. You guys put it on, Sim500. I also like to thank Chris Kaboo, Giblets, for always painting my paint schemes. Does an awesome job, and yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's great to hear. Congratulations on a third-place finish and a spot in the playoffs tonight, Kevin. You did a great job out there in the whole season. Now you've got a championship to go win.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
There you go, Kevin Brown, man. Outstanding, making it out here tonight in the playoffs. Well, the man here is second, Nick Silver, bringing it up here on the second place tonight.
Nick, it's Jeff up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Nick, it was a bit of a crazy race here tonight, but it ended under caution technically. The caution came out right before you guys hit the line. What was your plan going into the last lap to try and get around Josh and hold on to the lead?
Well, I was just hoping, I'd get maybe a push, get a run or something on him down the backstretch. But I think the way that was shaping up right there, right before the caution came out, I was probably about to be freight trained. I think Kevin got a push from EJ there. So kind of glad the caution came out right at that moment because I think I was about to lose at least a couple spots.
Well, we'll never know. But you drove from 29th all the way up to second tonight. How did you manage to make 27 passes for position here? Probably more passes for position, but how did you manage to gain 27 spots throughout the course of these 80 laps?
Honestly, I don't even know. I was just kind of, riding whatever line was going on up there and, playing the draft. It was basically a plate race. So, like I said, just picking which line was moving and eventually found myself up there near the front. I don't know what it is about Michigan this year for me, but finished pretty well in both cup races here and another good one here, so I'm thinking I love this track.
Certainly seems like it, and I'm sure you got some people that you want to thank for that second place run tonight.
Well, first and foremost, got to thank everybody at Sim500 that puts on a great league. Kick-Ass Beef Jerky as well for sponsoring this series. Series wouldn't be possible without them, so go ahead and check out their website, get yourself some jerky. And got to thank you guys at OSRN for always putting on a great show.
Well, we appreciate that, and it was a lot of fun watching you out here tonight. Congrats on that second place finish. It was well earned.
Thank you.
Well, I'll tell you what, Nick Silver right there, like I say, coming home in second here tonight. Well, this guy, awesome run for him. Josh Parker, Joy in the booth, got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, man, I tell you what, all night long you was up front fighting and battling for it, and it was basically a fight all night long for that position. How was you feeling throughout this race?
Yeah, it was fun. It was there's no pulling away. It doesn't really matter how bad you burn up the right front. I mean, it definitely didn't help, but playing both lanes and just working the draft was interesting. One spoiler was also pretty fun. So race.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, you definitely had one of the fastest machine, but it looked like that draft was just playing a huge factor here tonight. Maybe that last deal there, was you kind of happy the caution came out like it did, or was you maybe good to try to run it all the way around?
I was definitely happy. I mean, I wouldn't have. They were going to race hard behind me anyway. It was going to be tough. But if you're a leader, you were sitting duck. So I was hoping for the yellow to come out before we took the white because, like I said, I think even with them battling, they would have had a huge run on me. So anything could have happened going into turn 3 with the die bomb. I lost the a cup race here a few weeks ago to Richard Beasley on the last lap going into 3. So yeah, it's definitely happy. The way my season's going in all of sim racing here at Sim500 is it's pretty devastating. It's been pretty sour. So having a win is finally good.
Oh, absolutely, man. A win always make you feel better, turn everything around there. And definitely doing it in the way that you did it. Up front all night long, battling out, had a solid performance in a truck up there, and some awesome driving and some awesome moves. But, hey, you pulled it off here for the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky Truck Series. to end the regular season, we head off into the chase part here. You got anybody you want to thank for the win?
Yeah, I got to thank Joe Gibbs Gaming. Obviously, the Joe Gibbs Racing Gaming side of things, Interstate Batteries, Charlie Lario, everything they do for me. My buddy Adam Folan's been spotting for me for the last 3 or 4 months. I put myself in position with his pit calls to get a bunch of wins that I kind of threw out the window. So definitely good to get him one tonight. And Jack Coleman, everyone, team. You guys are doing the broadcast. Obviously taking time out of your day. Joey, and then Kick-Ass Beef Jerky for putting this on.
Absolutely. I'll tell you what, it was a fantastic race. Excited and watch again. Congratulations there, old Josh. Win.
Appreciate it.
Right, Josh Parker putting in the victory lane. I tell you what, Chip, what a wild one here at Michigan. Hey, who knew how this one was going to turn out?
Nobody. I mean, there was 10 different trucks that all could have won it. I mean, honestly, there were 40 different trucks that could have won it. But what a fantastic race out there. Everyone out there did a great job. I can't believe how much slicing and dicing they got away with without causing more wrecks. That was awesome to see.
Absolutely. Well, my sentiments too. Folks, like I said, that concludes the regular season. It was an awesome one. We head off with the chase, though, here for the Kick-Ass Beef Jerky after next week. For myself and everybody here at Sim500, have a good night.